Are you feeling lonely because you got into the niche sport of sumo? Are you looking for other people who you can nerd out with and not feel judged? Are you tired of talking to your real-life friends who aren't just getting convinced that sumo is the greatest sport of all time? Well, you should try Fantasy League Sumo, a place where all your sumo needs come true. Here, you can be the best and simply be with the best, and add more excitement to your lonely sumo fan life. Fantasy League Sumo, where you can be alone together. Hi, I'm Tare and I make videos about anything I find interesting about sumo. Today, we're discovering the seemingly complicated, but it's actually not that complicated world of Fantasy League Sumo.
Carlos Delgado.
Excellent choice. Too bad I got him 3 rounds ago.
You're still on the clock.
Oh, shit!
You gotta do something.
Hideki Matsui. Just took my whole outfield.
Sorry, Charlie.
What is this?
Debbie.
What the fuck is this?
It's our fantasy baseball draft. We said no wives.
Your fantasy what?
So all this explanation is coming from someone who has never played Fantasy League anything or have done anything remotely like it in my life. So the way I understood it, Fantasy League Sumo is sort of like sumo wrestler bingo, where instead of numbers, you have sumo wrestlers. And when the sumo wrestler that you have in your card wins bouts in an actual tournament, you get points. So we learned so far that it's 1. Based on real sumo wrestlers in actual grand sumo tournaments that happen 6 times a year for 15 days. And 2. Points are based on actual wins and losses by sumo wrestlers. 3. The most points among a set of players win, although that's kinda obvious. That's the most basic idea of it. So that's why I was interested in learning how to play Fantasy League Sumo, because I want to do something sumo related other than just watching it. Something fun I can participate in, and also hopefully I get to do it with other sumo fans. So how do you play it? Before we get into the gameplay, we first ask, where do we play it? You can, of course, play it with your friends in real life, but like most people who aren't as lucky, we play it online through Discord. So Discord is an app you can download on your computer or your mobile device where you can join servers. These are for the old school chat rooms. You can just sign up and download the app, then click on an invite link, and then voila, that's the first step of playing Fantasy League Sumo. Now, this video that I'm making is actually quite specific to the Fantasy League Sumo server on Discord. So you might want to click on the invite link and I'll put that on the description or on a pinned comment below. So now that you've joined the server, the second step is joining a league. A league is the set of players you want to play with. In the Discord server, there are multiple leagues that have a limit of 10 people, but you can start playing with any number below that. So you just have to find a league that you want to join in and you can start playing. But of course, just like in any other game room, you can also create your own league, and you can start inviting other players into your league. In the server, players are called oyakata, which is the Japanese word for stable master, because in a way, you are going to have a stable or heya with your sumo wrestlers in the game. Now that you've joined a league with other players, the one who created the league can decide to start the game. The first thing that you need to do is to go over the league rules. There are no constant rules for each league, so it's good to go over them as they can affect your scoring and the gameplay. The Fantasy League Sumo provides an Excel sheet to keep track of the rules and the game as a whole. So the players have to decide what to do with how many rikishi or sumo wrestlers per heya, the recruiting order, the recruiting rule, the Kyujo rule, and the retention rule. Deciding on how many rikishi per heya is fairly self-explanatory, but for beginners like me, I would like to just have 5 wrestlers in my draft. Picking wrestlers are done in turns, so if you have 5 people in the league, you have to decide the order of who goes first. You get the option of choosing on random or based on the results of the previous basho where the champion gets first pick and so on. Or you can go the opposite route where the loser of the last game goes first. If this is the first time the league is playing, the league can use random.org/lists and it can randomize the order for you. So now you have first, second, third, fourth, and fifth pick. But when everybody has their pick from the first round, it is recommended to not start again from the first picker, but to do the second round of picking in an ascending order. So you'll start the second round with the fifth person, then the fourth person, and so on. This is called the snake recruiting session and is done so to ensure that the person at the last place would not always have to get the worst picks. One thing to remember is that when a person has picked a wrestler, the rikishi will no longer be available for picking and is off the list. So having first pick is really helpful. The league can choose either free for all, where players or oyakatas can pick whoever from the available rikishi, or do it underdog style, where players have to pick from a certain range of rank each round of drafting to fill their heya. This is the rule that will apply to drafted wrestlers who announce their withdrawal from the tournament when the players' heyas have already been set. Subs allowed means player can have substitutions for rikishi who have withdrawn, and cookies means no subs can be made because that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So when the basho is over, the league might want to play again for the next basho. In general, the sumo wrestlers in the heyas will be released and will be available for picking for the next tournament. However, the league can decide a special retention rule as an added incentive to winners with the finders keepers option. An example of it would be the champion of the previous game will be allowed 2 wrestlers in their heya for the next basho, then the second and third placers can keep 1, and the rest don't keep any. Now it's time to talk about bonus points. The league can come up with ways for players to earn bonus points, like having extra points for correctly deciding the tournament winner, runner-up, and whoever wins special prizes. Of course, there are times when there are special rulings to be made. For example, a player has had 4 out of 5 of his sumo wrestlers drop out of the tournament, and the league has decided to not allow substitutions. Assigning roles to players within the league can be helpful for these kinds of situations. So now that the rules and the roles have been decided, the game itself can commence, which is funny because there's really nothing players have to do while the game is going on. The Excel sheet actually is automated and updates scores every day. Oyakatas just have to sit back and watch the tournament and either revel in victory or gloom in their loss. I actually see it as a great way to know sumo wrestlers. Since we're following so many of them, some of them blur into the background. But playing Fantasy League Sumo can actually make you follow a rikishi you don't really know. Remember, being able to fully pick your dream team might not happen during an actual Fantasy League game, so you are forced to pick other wrestlers who might be unknown to you. And the wrestler being on your heya puts them on your close watch, and for the whole tournament, you can get to know them. I've always been interested in Fantasy League sports, but if you're a new sports fan like I am, it can be overwhelming. But as you can see, it's really not, and it actually helps you to get to know the sports much better. Oh, and let's not forget the topic of what do you win? The prizes can be set by the league. It can be just for the fun and glory of winning, or it can be something as serious like playing for your firstborn child. Either way, to me, the biggest prize we win are the friends we make along the way. Thanks for watching this kind of offbeat video in the channel. I hope that you joined the Fantasy League Sumo server. I haven't played yet. The November Basho would be the first time I'm going to be playing Fantasy League Sumo. But I think I'm really excited about this. That's why I wanted to share it, especially for new fans out there. Come and join the server. I think it's going to be so much fun for us, and that you can actually use it to find other people who are also interested in sumo, and we can just be a community where we can play games, insult each other, and all of that. So I hope that you subscribe, like, and share this video so that there will be more people playing Fantasy League Sumo, or maybe you can share it to your friends who aren't really that convinced that sumo is great. Well, maybe this game will interest them. So see you again soon. Bye!